Hello, everyone. My name is Robert Bright. I'm the pastor here at Unity Church of El Cajon, and welcome to our Father's Day talent show. Now, this isn't the traditional talent show with a variety of skits and such. It's actually an offering of gifts that individuals, different congregants, have brought forward to share at this time. Some of them directly honor fathers, and some do not. Some are just purely entertaining. Some are even meditative. But we invite you to sit back and to enjoy this time and to know that these are gifts of love from us to you.
Good morning. Today is the day of recognizing and honoring young and old fathers world over. And my story begins today when an old man died in a geriatric ward of a nursing home in Grass Valley, California. It was believed that he had nothing left of any value. Later, when the nurses were going through his meager possessions, they found a poem. Its quality and its contents so impressed the staff that copies were made and distributed to every nurse in the hospital. This old man, with nothing left to give the world, is now the author of an anonymous poem. It's entitled Crabby Old Man. What do you see, nurses? What do you see? What are you thinking when you look at me? Crabby old man, not very wise, uncertain of habit, with faraway eyes, who dribbles his food and makes no reply when you say in a loud voice, I do wish you'd try, who seems not to notice the things that you do, and forever is losing a sock or a shoe, who, resisting or not, lets you do at your will, with bathing and feeding the long day to fill. Is that what you're thinking? Is that who you see? Then open your eyes, nurse. You're not looking at me. I'll tell you who I am as I sit here so still, as I do at your bidding, as I eat at your will. I'm a small child of 10, with a father, a mother, brothers and sisters who love one another. A young boy of 16 with wings on his feet and dreaming that soon now a lover he'll meet. A groom soon at 20, my heart gives a leap, remembering the vows that I promised to keep. At 25 now, I have young of my own who need me to guide and secure a happy home. A father of 30, a young now grow so fast, bound to each other with ties that should last. At 40, my young sons have grown and are gone, but my woman's beside me to see I don't mourn. At 50, once more, babies play round my knee again. We know children, my loved ones and me. Dark days are upon me. My wife is now dead. I look at the future and I shudder with dread. For my young are all rearing, my young are all rearing young of their own. And I think of the years and the love that I've known. I'm now an old man, and nature is cruel. 'Tis just to make old age look like a fool. The body it crumbles, grace and vigor depart. There is now a stone where once I had a heart. But in this old carcass a young guy still dwells, and now and again my battered heart swells. I remember the joys, I remember the pain, and I'm loving and living life all over again. I think of the years, all too few, gone too fast, and accept that stark fact that nothing lasts. So open your eyes, people, open and see, not a crabby old man, look closer at me. Remember this poem when you next meet an older person who you might brush aside without looking at the young soul inside. Happy Father's Day to all young and old men. We will always remember to see what is within. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Barbara. I wish to bring our dads and everyone a gift. The gift of connecting with and honoring the vibration of the divine through sound. I'm going to use special tuning forks to create this sound vibration. This is the Cajon, the light and sound of Father, Mother, God, the divine. I am the light and sound of the divine. Amen.
happy Father's Day, dearest Papa, herald of eternity. Papa, as I reflect on this Father's Day, I am sitting here reflecting on what a great teacher you have been to me and a wise sage, and how these lessons and teachings continue to work through and around me as I approach my 69th year here on earth. Even though, Papa, you were born into great wealth, you chose to let it go in order to evolve on a soul level. And I receive those blessings from you. Thank you. I can always remember at the age of 6, seeing you sitting on the stool in our living room in a small village in eastern England, reading and translating from the 12 volumes of the lives and teachings of masters of the Far East. Papa, you were so patient and tolerant with my silly questions as you shared the esoteric knowledge of the opening of the third eye and the Kundalini energy. How I so much looked forward to these special learning moments with you. Then you went on to teach me about the world. I still have that world map from all those years ago, and as tattered as it may be, it is still most memorable for me, transporting me out of my little village in England, and you flew me by the means of words and pictures to the Himalayas and India, and then I visited Egypt, Ceylon, Singapore, and North Africa. It was like magic, Papa. You flew me to all the places which you had served in during World War II. The seeds of all these countries were then planted in the bedrock of my heart, so that years later, God would choose these very same countries for me in which to do my ministries. It was all coming full circle. Papa, you were the seer and the prophet. I can see the full experience and the continuity of your life through me so much clearer now. You were holding the vision for my future. Oh, Papa, how you bless me and continue to do so. I am so grateful that you taught me in my younger years to live the divine over the human. Yet you always gave me the space and free will to choose whatever my soul chose to learn in that given moment. On this honorable Father's Day, I am reliving all the sweet, fun, childlike moments of when I took very long 3-hour walks with you. It was like we just walked wherever the byroads and country roads would take us. It didn't matter where. All that mattered was that our hearts were connected, linked arm in arm together. Sometimes we would burst out into song, other times burst out laughing, knowing that our melodies were way off key. Yet our spirits were alive and bursting with joy. We would then sit by the roadside with our flask of tea and a few biscuits. This was our paradise, sitting amongst the daisies and buttercups, witnessing the cars and lorries racing and honking by. Yet, for father and daughter, we were in heaven as we continued our discourses on God, continuing our questions and answers like time had stood still. Bottom line, Papa, You always returned every question and answer back to God. That is etched in the very depth of my heart. You would say to me, Veronica, I am your human blood father. However, there is your Holy Father who is much greater than I, who is omnipotent, who abides within you. He is the one whom you need to practice listening to in meditation, in the stillness, and who will constantly guide you. This is He who will guide you back to your eternal home. He loves you more. He is the divine source. He is the very breath that you breathe. Love Him, my child, like no other, and obey Him, even when your strong will wants to win out. Papa, I so appreciated your high sensitivities as a male. It was not until my early 30s that you were able to talk of the atrocities and horrors which you witnessed during World War II. Oh, how brave and courageous a human you were, to keep on going as you did, offering yourself unselfishly in which to liberate your fellow countrymen from the prisoner of war camps and prisons in Singapore. Oh, Papa, how painful and hard that must have been. Yet nothing was a hardship for you when it came to serving humanity. You are my spiritual soldier. I adored you even more, Papa, when you wore your sky blue sweater, which matched the color of your eyes. Your smile was so impish and full of life, like one never knew what esoteric topic you were going to expound on next. Always you believed life is good, people are good, and always see the good in everyone, Veronica. Everyone is a child of God. It is not about their behavior. It's about their very essence. When I married my Prince Lin in 1986, you were my king, Papa, who gave me away. Oh, how handsome you looked in your black tuxedo with your silver gray hair, like an ambassador of the world. I was so proud of you. And as we walked down the aisle arm in arm, my bow fell off the front of my gold lame dress, and with confidence you quietly whispered, "Love, it doesn't matter. It is only a bow, but you are God's princess." Oh, how I have never forgotten these pearls of wisdom. You taught me the flexibility of life, Papa, the ups and downs, the ebb and flow. And during the last stage of your life, you died in the same manner as you had lived, with gratitude, conviction, and love. There was no separation for you. Your wisdom and inner connection to God allowed you to know on the morning when you would make your transition back to your heavenly home. As I came to visit you in your nursing home that December, a very cold, wintry morning, always at the same time, 7 a.m., I intuitively felt, Papa, this was going to be a different day. And as you lay peacefully in bed, you asked me, "Love, would you get me some ice cream?" "Sure, Papa. What flavor would you like?" "Chocolate, love." "Okay, I'll be right back." But beloved Father, you had a different journey to make that day. In my absence, you turned to your dear two faithful nurses and said with a big smile, "Thank you." And then Papa closed his eyes and returned home to his beloved Jesus. Yes, Papa. I understood that you needed to make that journey alone. And I will never forget seeing all the light streaming through that garden window and totally illuminated throughout your whole body, especially your face. Your face shone like a million suns. Yes, beloved Father, this is how I last remember seeing you, sun on sun. My prince, my teacher, my seer, my friend, my sage. Happy Father's Day. Happy, happy Father's Day, beloved Papa. With all my love and soul's gratitude, Veronica.
A tribute to Jack A. Landis, Jack of all trades. The butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, that's my dad. Here he is, 5 years old. Here he is just last year on his 90th birthday. He continues to party, ready to celebrate 91 years old this year in just a few days. When people ask my dad his age, he tells them he was born on Father's Day, Sunday, June 16th, 1929. The 16th falls on Father's Day only every 7 years or so, so really my dad's about 13 years old or so. All in a nutshell, here we go. The butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker explained, "Dad has had many different jobs, at least 28 or so in his life, but my sisters and I can attest to the following. The butcher, our dad has had many jobs, but he was a butcher by trade. He was a member of the Meat Cutters Union and worked cutting meat in grocery stores. The baker, well, this one might be pressing it a bit, but he did drive a bakery truck for sure. Let's just get right to the candlestick maker. Landis Art Glass Studio. Dad discovers stained glass. So that's the candlestick maker. He did at one time make candlesticks. So here he is working in his studio. Dad has made windows for homes and churches and also taught classes. Here's just some examples of his creations. Dad's pieces of art are hanging in windows and doors in many homes and churches, where he also did church window repair. We're so lucky to have some of his stained glass art in our house. It is our joy. As Dad retired from stained glass business, he moved to California, there finding his new passion in watercolor painting. Let's just take a walk into his gallery. P.S. Featured art behind Dad is from my amazing big sister, Kathy. But that's a whole nother slideshow. She does do amazing art. She also worked alongside our dad in the stained glass business. Let's go to the gallery.
Let's
let's go to the gallery. Come on. This is Dad's gallery. Of course, Dad says I should charge people to walk in here, but that's okay. It's free admission today. Just a few of his many pieces. That's one of my favorites. What is that music we hear in the background? Shall we go see?
Hi, this is Becky Rokel, and I would like to share a poem with you. Just recently, my father transitioned, and my sister read this poem at his services. It's entitled Dad, and it's by Karen Boyer. He never looks for praises. He's never one to boast. He just goes on quietly working for those he loves the most. His dreams are seldom spoken, his wants are very few, and most of the time his worries will go unspoken too. He's there, a firm foundation through all our storms of life, a sturdy hand to hold in times of stress and strife. A true friend we can turn to when times are good or bad. One of our greatest blessings, the man that we call Dad. Happy Father's Day, Dad. I love you.
Happy Father's Day. So I wanted to share with you a song that came to me from one of the most spiritual experiences I ever had in my life. It was when I was 4 years old. And although I was brought up in church and from a very early age went to Sunday school, went to church, this spiritual experience touched me in a way that nothing had ever touched me before, and still influences my life today. That spiritual experience was to go see Mary Poppins at the movie theater. What was so spiritual about it was Mary Poppins brought to me this incredible world of possibility that I had never imagined or dreamt of before. I believed what I saw in Mary Poppins. I believed I could fly with an umbrella and practiced that many times. I believed that there was such a thing as a bag that had all sorts of endless things that could come out of it. I even believed that an umbrella head could talk to you. All these things I believed because it was so true. It just rang in my heart when I saw Mary Poppins. Now, on the surface, Mary Poppins looks like it's a story about a nanny who enters a home and takes care of two precocious children who had had a series of nannies. But beyond the surface, there is the story of a family who was unable to connect. And Mary Poppins really comes in to help this family begin to connect. And it kind of started with the top down. The top in this particular situation was the father, George Banks. And George Banks was lost. He was lost. He he was in a world of banking, and as in the world of banking, his life revolved around numbers and profits. And it also revolved around his boss, who was really the Ebenezer Scrooge of banking. Well, what I learned and what I gleaned from the story was that George Banks came to a point in his life where he realized that he had to make a choice, or he needed to make a choice, and that choice was either to connect to his family, to connect to life, or to continue in this world of banking that would probably kill him. And so he leaves. He leaves and he makes the right choice. And at the end, George Banks sings this song, which has always been very important to me. Now, as I always say when I sing in the key of me. I have no idea where the song really goes and what key, but here we go. With tuppence for paper and string, you can have your own set of wings. With your feet on the ground, you're a bird in flight with your fist holding tight to the string of your kite. Oh, let's go fly a kite up to the highest height. Let's go fly a kite and send it soaring up through the atmosphere, up where the air is clear. Oh, let's go fly a kite. There's another verse. There's another verse. When you send it flying up there, all at once you're lighter than air. You can dance on the breeze over houses and trees with your fist holding tight to the string of your kite. Oh, let's go fly a kite up to the highest height. Let's go fly a kite and send it soaring up through the atmosphere, up where the air is clear. Oh, let's go fly a kite. Let's go fly a kite up to the highest height. Let's go fly a kite and send it soaring up through the atmosphere, up where the air is clear. Oh, let's go fly a kite. So happy Father's Day to all the dads, the fathers, the grandfathers out there, and let's go fly a kite. Amen.